Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you're onto your favorite program, Democracy on the Road of Law. So our second topic for today, we'll look at a topic which had generated a lot of attention and buzz around the nation within this past week. The issue of the relocation of the headquarters of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Faan, back from Abuja to Lagos, and also the relocation of some departments of the Central Bank of Nigeria back to Lagos. The Federal Airport Authority has cited the reasons why they had to relocate those the headquarters to Lagos, citing the reason of cutting of costs, inefficiency, ripping off, and that Lagos, because of commercial reasons and all of that. While the central bank has also given reasons, also pertaining to costs, commercial reasons, that the headquarters in Abuja does not have the capacity to accommodate as much staff as they have, and as such they have to relocate, and also that most of their staff has to do travel, that some have to stay like 3 months, 4 months working in Lagos and returning to Abuja, and they have said that it is not safe for their staff to be on the road frequently, that it will be nice for them to work in Lagos since they are, so they have to relocate the department to Lagos. But then the Nigerians has raised eyebrow concerning these decisions, both legally and morally, because some people have of the opinion that some of the headquarters who do not that do not have any business in Abuja should be relocated to the states in which they have their operational activities instead of being in Abuja. So there are two sides to these things. I will look at the moral issue and the legal issue if there are anyone. So Barrister Obiora,
yes,
this issue has generated a lot of buzz, and some people, of course, have advocated that if it is because of operational efficiency that these headquarters are being relocated back to Lagos, that for the Niger Delta, the NIPC, for instance, which has its operation at the Niger Delta region, should also be relocated to the Niger Delta, since all of the operations are done there. So what do you have to say with all of this concerning the moral and the legal implication of these arguments?
Well, the point is this. The president has given directives that some parastatals of the federal government, the CBN, the Faan, and others be relocated to Lagos, either completely or partially, for more efficient administrative purposes. And first, the issue of morality is very relative. So we may not really go into the morality, because morality is a relative thing, and that is why in the law, morality is schemed out. The law has nothing to do with morality as such. The law, although law must have moral content, there must be a certain degree of morality in law. But then, when we look at law as by what it has provided, the letters of the law and what it has portended so far. Now, yes, the president has the powers under the Constitution to carry out such relocation, and I believe there must be a clear reason for such. Although politicians may give it different interpretations, we are not politicians, we are lawyers. I believe that there must have been reports, recommendations, like what you mentioned, that some staff of some of these parastatals work from Lagos, go to Abuja, do some weeks, return back to Lagos, and so on. And of course, we also know that Nigeria is getting increasingly insecure. The level of insecurity led some residents of Abuja last week to embark on a protest that kidnappers on the prowl. In fact, I saw one of the papers that about 7 persons were killed by kidnappers and many others arrested and not yet. In fact, somebody even went as far as calling for either the suspension or scrapping out entirely of NYC because some of the NYC, members that are still in the den of kidnappers. So I believe that, yes, for purposes of efficiency, the relocation is okay. Now, coming to NNPC and the Niger Delta, calling for movement or relocation of NNPC from Abuja to Niger Delta, in as much as it may be a kind of succor to the people from Niger Delta, it is a decision that appears to be a hard one. I'll tell you my reasons. First, in Abuja, the NNPC towers have been there about 3 times. It cost this nation a lot of money to build that edifice, the NNPC towers in Abuja, where NNPC operates presently. Now, if you now say, okay, because oil is from Niger Delta, let it be relocated. They don't have any structure there presently. To start with, they don't have any structure, no building, nothing. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria that has been ordered to be located already, they were operating from Lagos ab initio from the beginning. They have offices, they have structures here in Lagos, and all that they need to do is to just send some of their staff and they continue with their duties without having to go and start planning to get land, build offices, blocks, and so on. The same thing applies to the central bank. The central bank had its headquarters before in Lagos at Tinubu Square. All that they need to do is to go back to that structure already existing. Then if they need to expand or do whatever thing they need to do, yes. So the argument and the call by some people that, yes, let NNPC be relocated to Warri, the question is, where will they stay? That is the big question. And that's why I say it's a hard thing. And again, I know that the NNPC towers in Abuja were it to be in Niger Delta. Some militant boys may have gone there to give the building to Marx.
Okay.
I understand. I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is the thing.
Okay, so Barrister Deji, there seems to be this general perception, of course it could be wrong, of course, that all the federal parastatals, their headquarters, ought to be situated at their federal capital territory, which is Abuja, of course. So what is that perception right? Because we need to know this perception that if it's a federal agency, ought to have its headquarters situated in Abuja, being the federal capital territory, not in any state of the federation, because we need to get the issue right so that tomorrow somebody doesn't become president and he locates all the headquarters back to his state or something like that. So we need to understand what the law says.
Okay, let me say that constitutionally there is no provision under the 1999 constitution that determines where the headquarters of some of these institutions, parastatals, ought to be. Some of these parastatals are under particular some ministries that are already located in Abuja. If you understand what I mean, there is just a reporting connection between them and the various ministry that oversees their function. All right. So there is no particular provision in the constitution that says any particular office must be located in Abuja. We know that the federal ministries are already located in Abuja. So and that was the same problem we had when we had Lagos at headquarters, where you had almost everything being located in Lagos. Well, adverse headache, that may be correct at that time, because Lagos was not just the nerve center of Nigeria, but almost also the commercial center of Nigeria. So you find that most of the operations in terms of institutions that are revenue generation are somehow connected to Lagos, like the NPA, like the Nigerian Telecoms Communication, like the immigration, like mentioned even the CBN and all of that, the aviation, they were all in Lagos. It was for political reasons that they were moved to Abuja. And since that happened, if for political reasons they are also taken away from Abuja, I don't see any hues and cry that should arise over that. It is the decision, exclusive decision of the federal government to determine where they want to locate any of their institutions. And particularly if operational functioning of the body, that particular institution, is affected by the location, I think they should look for the most convenient place that will suit that the operation of that particular power stator. So I'm not opposed to their moving it back to Lagos, because originally it was in Lagos before they moved it to Abuja. And if you know how Abuja is, yes, Abuja is supposed to be the federal capital, but you see, the idea of relocating all institutions in Abuja, to me, is unthinkable. It's not even safe for security reasons, for national security reasons. All right? You now have almost the same problem of urbanization and congestion that we had in Lagos. Is almost the same thing you are doing now in Abuja. And Abuja does not have enough accommodation for even all this massive move of all the parastatals and MDAs to Abuja and all of that. So I think it should be representative. If some of those bodies are put in some other parts of the country where they can effectively function, and they can also provide services, their services are peculiar to those environments, there's nothing wrong in it. It's not all institutions that are located, for instance, in Washington. Washington is just the official headquarters of the government. All the official government institutions are located in Washington. But it will be an aberration, for instance, for America to expect all its energy sector, all its aviation sector, to be located in Washington.
Okay. All right. Of course, in other words, there are no constitutional provision that says
they must be
all
located
federal
in a particular place.
must be located
at the federal capital. No.
So the discretion of the
executive.
The executive.
Yeah, but I think we still need to address the issue of the reasons, because whoever occupies a power or position is uncountable to the masses.
Yes.
As president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the duty to tell Nigerians why he believes that relocating Federal Post Authority to Lagos, Central Bank of Nigeria and other ones to Lagos, is in the best interest of the nation, so that Nigerians will know. So that tomorrow, if somebody from another part of the country comes on board, he doesn't say, well, that the former president relocated to Lagos, so he can relocate to Kano or Anambra, anywhere. So it shouldn't be something that people can look at, that they can do capriciously at their whims and caprices. No, there must be a guiding principle. And of course, we know that even executive orders are not at large. They are not limitless. There are limits to executive orders. Even in America, there was a time that when Joe Biden came on board, he made some orders, they went to court, and the court said, no, you don't have the powers under the American Constitution to make these executive orders. So we need to be mindful of this, that it is not in the does not lie in the mouth of the president or anybody to wake up and issue orders that cannot be supported either by law or public policy, which has to do with the best for the nation. No. So we must not lose sight of that.
I also want to say this, that it is true what my friend has said.
While you are saying that, let us get your final
word. I just have a comment on what he has said. If you notice, most of the people who are working in the CBN in Abuja today, they were moved from Lagos to Abuja. Many of them don't have houses in Abuja. Many of them lived there, they have their family in Lagos.
Yeah, because Lagos was the capital of Nigeria.
Yes,
at
and
that time.
the central
Lagos
bank,
is no longer a
the
capital.
central bank was in Lagos.
It was a capital at
It
that
was
time.
the capital at that time, and so everybody was here, and they moved them over there. Many of them shuttle from Lagos. I have family members who shuttle from Lagos to Abuja, who works in the central bank. They are not finding it convenient. Perhaps it is those people that are impressing it on the government that look, it's not working. All of us cannot be here. All right, I'm not saying they should not have maybe some office in Abuja or all that, but if a particular parastator has its location in a particular place that is of private sector that has comparative advantage for the function they are performing, they should be relocated there.
All right, they should be relocated. Of course. But so let's get your final work forward
Yes,
today for this.
but my final point on the two issues of taking is that those legislators from Plateau State, the senators, the members of the House of Representatives, and the members of the Assembly should not fold their arms. They need to take steps to reclaim their mandates. Then concerning relocation from Abuja to Lagos or some key parastatals, I agree, but like I said earlier, that it has to be done in a way that is transparent. Everybody must do the reason so that in future people don't abuse it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Relocation must be done transparently so that it shouldn't be abused in future. This is where we'll draw the curtain on today's edition on democracy and the rule of law. Catch us next week, same time, and do to also follow our social media pages. See you next week. I'm Barrister Kenneth Mimo.